The first light of dawn had not yet touched the Chicago skyline. On the 45th floor of a towering high-rise, the offices of Jennifer Walker Architectural Design were silent but for the soft hum of the HVAC and the distant swish of a cleaner's cart. "Good morning, Miss Walker." Jennifer offered the cleaner a slight, preoccupied nod. Her focus already miles away, she moved through the shadowed space to her desk by the wall of glass. Below, Michigan Avenue was a river of darkness, its banks lined with the faint, colorful suggestion of tulips. The wall behind her told a story of relentless ambition, awards gleamed in the dim light, and a framed Forbes cover featured her own determined face, a testament to a journey that began at the top of her UChicago class and culminated in a $10 million firm built from nothing by the age of 30. She was the picture of controlled success, dressed in an understated navy pantsuit, her makeup precise, but it was her eyes that betrayed the true cost. They held an unwavering, almost weary determination, the kind forged in countless solitary late nights at this very desk. A blinking light on her smartphone broke the silence. A voicemail. Her mother's effervescent voice filled the quiet room. "Jenny, we're off to Hawaii. We're celebrating Ashley's birthday." In the background, her sister's delighted squeal echoed. "Mom, this hotel room is amazing." The message was a window into a world that excluded her. Her mother, Patricia, reigned over Chicago's North Shore real estate scene from her historic Sheridan Road mansion. Her sister, Ashley, was an influencer whose life was a curated stream of Ritz-Carlton suites and yacht parties, her nominal leadership of a design firm propped up by social media glamour, not business acumen. A knot of concern tightened in Jennifer's stomach. She sent a quick text, "Is work okay?" Her phone rang instantly. It was Robert, her stepfather, his voice the polished tone of an investment banker. "Jennifer, since you're checking in, can you handle all the family paperwork this week?" The request was a command, his gentlemanly facade barely concealing the condescension she knew all too well. Behind him, she could almost hear the silent judgment of his new Bentley. "Yes, I understand," she said quietly, ending the call. Her wrist caught the light, a simple Cartier watch, the last gift from her late father. She looked out across the waking city toward her Wicker Park townhouse. Another night spent propping up her sister, precarious finances. Another morning shielding the family's glamorous illusion. Next week was her 35th birthday. The calendar had turned 3 times since anyone in her family had acknowledged it. She was always the missing figure in the Palm Beach photos, the one with a convenient, work emergency, whenever vacation plans were discussed, though the invitation never truly came. That night, in the quiet of her home, she opened an old album. A younger Jennifer smiled back, tucked between her beaming parents with a little sister in her arms. Her mother's arm was around her, her gaze full of love. That woman had vanished after her father's funeral, her affection shifting entirely to Ashley, leaving Jennifer to become the family's quiet, capable foundation. A single tear fell onto a sheet of pristine Crane Co. stationery. She brushed it away. The deep emotions remained, locked away. Days later, standing before the 30-foot windows of a conference room in the Willis Tower, Jennifer commanded the room. The spring twilight set the city ablaze, turning Millennium Park's tulip fields to gold. "Miss Walker, an excellent proposal." The executive beamed, shaking her hand. "Expect a special bonus. This single project would boost annual revenue by 20%. It was the perfect birthday gift." Congratulations washed over her. She had just been named chief director on a once-in-a-generation redevelopment project, a crowning achievement. Back in her office, a surprise awaited, a modest bouquet of white callas and blue delphiniums. The card read, "Happy birthday, Jennifer," signed by every member of her staff. A genuine warmth bloomed in her chest. Her chief designer, Nigel, brought her a coffee. "Boss, please leave early today. Enjoy celebrating with your family." The words sparked a fragile hope. This year might be different. She changed into a navy Oscar de la Renta cocktail dress, applied her makeup with extra care, and fastened her father's watch. Driving north on Lake Shore Drive, she allowed herself to remember birthdays past, when her family would take this very road to celebrate together. As she turned onto her mother's street in Winnetka, the hope curdled. The curb was lined with unfamiliar luxury, 2 Rolls-Royces, a Ferrari, and Robert's Bentley. The grand house, usually serene, pulsed with light and laughter. Inside, the scene was dazzling. Baccarat chandeliers glittered over a crowd in evening wear. The pop of a Dom Perignon rosé cork punctuated the elegant chatter, and at the center of it all was her mother, Patricia, resplendent in a custom Cartier diamond necklace. "Everyone, thank you for viewing my new jewelry collection," Patricia trilled. "Mom, the Instagram Live has over 500,000 views," Ashley cheered, glowing in a Dior gown. The conversation died the moment Jennifer stepped into the room. A frozen silence hung in the air. "Oh, Jennifer, you're early," her mother said, her smile tight, her eyes confused and faintly disgusted. "What is all this?" Jennifer asked. Ashley clicked across the marble floor on red-soled heels. "It's Mom's collection debut. Today was the only day that worked for everyone." Robert swirled his champagne. "Can you handle the cleanup after?" And then, as if an afterthought, her mother added with a radiant, meaningless smile, "Oh, yes, it was your birthday today, wasn't it?" The crowd laughed, raising their glasses in a toast that wasn't for her. Not a single wish was offered. Jennifer turned and quietly climbed the stairs, the thick Persian carpet swallowing her footsteps. In her old room, she took out her stationery and her father's Mont Blanc pen. With a steady hand, she began to write. She poured it all onto the fine cotton paper, the truth of Ashley's failing company, the traces of illicit deals in her mother's real estate empire, the evidence of Robert's misappropriated funds, and her own role in silently supporting the entire deceitful edifice. She sealed the letter, descended the stairs, and left the envelope on the living room table, a truth bomb waiting to detonate the fragile world of pretense. Packing a single Louis Vuitton bag, she made a reservation for one at a Michelin-starred restaurant and walked out into the night, the sounds of the party fading behind her. In the restaurant's intimate glass-enclosed dining room, service director Michael Moran greeted her with profound warmth. "We understand you're dining alone this evening." "Yes," she said, "today is my birthday." His expression softened. "Then allow me to suggest a wine worthy of the occasion." The sommelier presented a bottle of 1988 Romanée Conti, a birth year wine. As the deep ruby liquid glimmered in her glass, the sommelier noted, 1988 was a wonderful year. A faint, true smile touched Jennifer's lips for the first time that day. Her family had always come here for her birthday when her father was alive. Her mother used to remember her love of chocolate soufflé. Her phone vibrated with an Instagram notification from Ashley. The screen filled with images of the lavish party, her mother's elegant smile, Robert's raised glass, Ashley's beaming face. She was absent from every photo. The comments overflowed with envy. The contrast between the curated joy on her screen and her own quiet table was a physical ache. Yet, beneath the hurt, she felt an unexpected, profound calm. Michael poured a new champagne, Dom Perignon Rosé, the same brand from the party, but here, it seemed to sparkle with a different, more sincere light. "A toast to your birthday," he said. "They say champagne bubbles are a sign of happiness." At his words, Jennifer's eyes welled up. This kindness from a stranger, it was the genuine affection her family had never once offered. As the perfect A5 Wagyu was presented, she finally allowed herself to feel celebrated. She was not missing from a party. She had chosen her own peace, and in that choice, she was finally, completely, home. Prepared. "Actually, the entire kitchen staff prepared a birthday card for you." Michael presented a large card filled with handwritten messages from every member of the staff. Seeing these heartfelt wishes from strangers, people who saw her more clearly in one evening than her family had in a decade, large, silent tears finally fell from Jennifer's eyes, tracing paths she no longer had to hide. Her phone vibrated on the linen tablecloth, another notification from her mother's Instagram, undoubtedly another glittering post from the party that had no place for her. Without a second thought, Jennifer reached over and quietly turned it off, silencing the noise of her old life. Outside the panoramic window, Chicago's skyline glowed a deep, serene blue. The Willis Tower, the John Hancock Center, and the new structures whose lines she had drawn herself stood as silent, proud sentinels over her 35 years. "I've brought your dessert." It was a perfect chocolate soufflé. The first taste was a Proustian rush, a direct line to birthdays past, to her father's warm hand on her shoulder, The memory was no longer a painful ghost but a comforting embrace. Suddenly, the soft glow of the room was filled with warmth as the entire staff emerged, singing, "Happy birthday to you." Their voices, a chorus of genuine kindness, washed over her. In that moment, receiving this simple, heartfelt gesture, she knew it had become her warmest birthday yet. "Did you enjoy your special evening?" Michael asked kindly as she prepared to leave. A true, unforced smile graced her lips. "Yes, it was the best birthday of my life." As Jennifer's car merged onto the dark, quiet highway, the lights of the Sheridan Road mansion blazed. The party was winding down into elegant disarray. "Ashley, be a dear and call Jennifer upstairs," Patricia said, adjusting her Cartier bracelet over a sink full of empty Dom Perignon bottles. "The caterers are waiting to be settled." Ashley clicked up the spiral staircase in her Dior heels. "Jennifer, could you help with the cleanup?" she called into the empty hallway. "Mom, she's not here." "Running away? How dramatic." Patricia sighed, ascending to join her daughter. The light from the baccarat chandelier cast intricate patterns from her necklace onto the walls. Their irritation was cut short by Robert's voice, uncharacteristically sharp. From the living room, "Patricia, Ashley, get down here, now." On the grand mahogany table, stark against the polished surface, lay a single envelope of exquisite Crane Co. stationery. It sat like a dormant blade. Patricia's hands trembled as she unfolded the letter, written in the precise hand they had always relied on to fix their messes. "To Mother, Ashley, and Robert. For years, I have protected the illusion of this family. Tonight, on my 35th birthday, I choose to protect myself instead." Ashley gasped as she read over her mother's shoulder. The letter detailed, with forensic clarity, the end of her secret financial lifeline and the true, crumbling state of her company. Her iPhone, still displaying her latest glamorous post, clattered to the floor. "Regarding Mother's real estate ventures, I have submitted all evidence of fraudulent transactions and tax evasion to the authorities. The deals made under my name will be nullified." Patricia's face went ashen. The paper rattled in her shaking hands. "And Robert, evidence of your misappropriation of client funds is now with the SEC. I will no longer be the silent, nominal shield for your activities." His whiskey glass slipped from his fingers, shattering on the marble in a burst of crystal and ice. As if on cue, their world began to unravel in real time. Ashley's phone erupted with notifications, a plummeting follower count, brands publicly severing ties. Patricia's phone rang with the cold, formal tone of her brokerage firm terminating her contract. From the study, Robert's private line began to ring incessantly with panicked investors. The final line of the letter glittered under the chandelier's cold light. "Consider this my final gift to you." In profound, awful silence descended upon the mansion, broken only by the distant peal of another unanswered phone. The following morning, the Chicago Tribune's headline said it all. "North Shore Empire of Pretense Crumbles Under Weight of Fraud." The news echoed on CNN, splashing their disgrace across the nation. A year later, the dust has settled. "Ms. Walker, the Forbes team is ready for you." Her secretary, Sarah, knocked gently on the door of her expanded office, now occupying 2 floors of the tower. This month's cover would feature her not as a beneficiary of family connections, but as Chicago's most influential architect in her own right. On her desk, next to blueprints for projects in Singapore and Tokyo, sat a simple photo frame. It held a picture from a Christmas party at a foster care support center, surrounded by beaming children, a happiness she had built for herself. Her intercom buzzed. "Nigel here. The Wall Street Journal is asking, they want to do a piece on reconciliation." Jennifer's gaze drifted to her desk drawer, where a stack of unopened letters from her mother lay. They all began, "My dearest daughter." She quietly closed the drawer. "Not yet," she said softly. "Tell them no comment." At dusk, she walked through Millennium Park, where the tulips were blooming anew. Mary, the director of the support center, waved her over. "The children are so excited for your birthday party tomorrow. They've been planning surprises for weeks." The next day, the community hall was a riot of handmade decorations and childish laughter. "Happy birthday, Jennifer," 30 children chorused, swarming her with cards painted with bright, messy love. A little girl approached shyly, clutching a clumsily iced cupcake. "I'm so happy I met you," she whispered. This time, the tears that filled Jennifer's eyes were not of sorrow, but of a joy so profound it felt like a healing. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, another call from her mother. She let it go to voicemail, her attention fully claimed by the pure, unconditional love before her. Outside, a gentle spring breeze whispered through the city. It carried not the echoes of a crumbled castle of lies, but the promise of a new foundation, built on honesty and purpose. On her desk awaited the plans for a new children's center, a project to which she would dedicate her talent. Jennifer Walker smiled, a true and complete smile that reached her eyes. This was the proof of a happiness no amount of money could ever buy.